Okay, let's talk about mornings. What if you could totally transform the very first moments of your day with just a tiny little change? Well, today, we're going to dive into the Sadhguru method for waking up right. And trust me, it is way simpler than you might think.
Seriously, think about this morning. What was the very first thought that popped into your head? Or the first feeling? For so many of us, it's that classic groan, right? That feeling of dread, or just a simple, ugh. But here's the thing. What if it didn't have to be like that? What if it could be something completely different?
All right, so let's get into it. First, we need to look at what most of us are already doing. And according to Sadhguru, well, we're pretty much waking up all wrong.
I mean, picture this. You know the scene. You're in a deep, peaceful sleep, and then, bam, a loud, buzzing, just awful sound rips you out of it. That's not just a bad dream. That's the daily reality for millions and millions of us.
And here's the thing. This way of thinking says a bad start isn't just about having a groggy morning. No, it's about the path of your entire life. The sounds you wake up to, they literally set the tone for everything else that happens that day. In fact, Sadhguru puts it just like this. The kind of sounds you come awake to will determine the context of the day and the future of your life in many ways. I mean, let that sink in for a second. That's a huge idea, that our little morning alarm clock is literally shaping our future.
Okay, so if those jarring alarms are out, what are we supposed to do? What's the alternative? Well, that brings us to the art of waking up naturally.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. There's no way I can wake up without an alarm. But the idea here is that you actually can. You just have to understand your own body first. Like, how much sleep do you actually need? It's not one size fits all. It depends on stuff like the food you're eating, your thoughts and emotions, and even how vibrant you're feeling. Everyone's just different.
And the solution? It's almost ridiculously simple. Just go to bed early enough that your body wakes up on its own, naturally. No shock to the system. See, it's all about working with your body, not fighting against it.
Okay, so let's say you've done it. You're waking up naturally. What comes next? Well, this is where we get into a simple 4-step ritual to start your day with real awareness and energy.
So, step 1, and this happens before you even move a muscle. It's all about waking up your senses first.
So here's what you do. First, you rub your hands together, and I mean really vigorously. This gets all those nerve endings in your palms fired up, which helps wake up your whole system. Then, you just gently place those warm palms over your eyes. It's such a simple little thing, but it awakens all the nerves connected to your senses, getting your brain and body going before you even think about sitting up.
All right, step 2. This is all about how you physically get out of bed. And it's one of those tiny details that has a surprisingly big impact. You want to rise gently from your right side. And there's actually some real science to this. Sadhguru explains that when you're asleep and relaxed, your metabolic activity is really low. But the second you get up, there's this huge surge of activity. And how you handle that surge is super important. So why the right side specifically? Well, think about it. Your heart, the body's main pumping station, is on your left side. So by rolling to your right to get up, you're putting way less pressure on your whole cardiac system during that big morning surge. You're basically easing your body into the day instead of shocking it, and that helps you hold on to your energy for the rest of the day. Okay, so we've covered the physical part of waking up. Now it's time for the mental and emotional side. The next couple of steps in this ritual are all about creating a mindset of pure gratitude. And to do that, let's start with a pretty stark fact. Think about this. Every single night, around 250,000 people on this planet go to sleep, and they just don't wake up. So when you open your eyes in the morning, what's the very first thing to realize? It's so simple. You woke up. You are still alive. And what does a realization like that deserve? Well, that brings us to step 3. Just smile. That's it. A simple, real smile just to say thank you for the gift of another day. You don't have to jump up and down. Just take a second to acknowledge how incredibly lucky you are. Next up, just in your mind, quickly check in on the people who matter the most to you. Those 3, 4, 5 people in your life. And if you find that they're also alive and well, that's step 4. You give one more big smile. Think about it. You're alive, and the people you love are alive. It is such a simple but an incredibly powerful way to frame your entire day in gratitude from the very start. But is there a best time to do all this? And what's the deeper meaning behind it all? Well, this leads us to this really powerful idea of becoming your own creator. You see, in yogic traditions, there's this belief in a really special window of time. It's roughly between 3:20 and 3:40 in the morning, and it's called Brahma Muhurtam, which basically means the creator's hour. The whole idea is that during this tiny window, your body goes through these unique physiological changes that make it the absolute perfect time for spiritual practices. It's seen as the time when you can literally, consciously create yourself for the day ahead.
So let's do a super quick recap of this whole powerful morning ritual. Step 1, rub your hands, place them over your eyes to wake up your system. Step 2, gently roll to your right side to get up, which protects your heart. Step 3, smile just because you are alive. And step 4, smile again because the people you love are also alive.
And really that brings us to the final thought here. This whole thing, it's not just about a cute little morning routine, is it? It's about consciously laying the foundation for your life one day at a time. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Tomorrow morning, how are you going to create yourself?